the equality movement is allowing women to tyrannize men.
Okay, you're just reading headlines, man.
Well, yes.
Read the
Is this
articles.
part of the
What
experiment,
point
though? Is this
of
part of your
no?
experiment?
These articles are making a point. They provide evidence. They provide arguments. You read it. You take with it for what you want. But don't then go into your
But that's
media
not the
outlet to lie
satire. The
about it.
satire is something else.
How to Stop Rape was a satirical article.
Okay.
These are not.
So you know, the outrage isn't only about that one article. A lot of people think that you're writing about women in general being submissive.
Okay, yeah.
This is also offensive. Like,
I don't care.
Is that something you believe?
Do I believe that a woman should submit to a man? Yes. Does that mean that my family's address should be put online because of that, and the media staking out their home because of what I write? No. And using these lies to incite these
nice
idiots
pivot,
on the
guy.
internet?
Good
No.
job.
What's your justification for believing that?
Wait. Is he claiming to be a victim now?
When did he?
I'm not here to argue why I believe what I do. Okay,
But
you
that
have
was
to
the
go
question.
online. I've been writing
Like,
for years and years.
women
If
should
you
be
really care
submissive. The
about
previous
that,
one that the
go
woman
do your
asked.
homework. But I'm just here to talk about the events of the past week.
I did read some of the things that
Okay.
curious. I'm sure a lot of other people here who are meeting firsthand are curious to know, where you.
I really think that you guys don't read things. You see, Caitlin, she writes something, and then you're like, oh, Caitlin's article, yeah, it's getting hits. I'm going to copy and paste hers. So it's like a game. You guys are writing the same thing. I mean,
This
on there.
That's true.
This I actually
That's actually
agree
true.
with.
I
Yes.
agree with that one. I actually had a point, but it's been covered.
That is unfortunately describing the state of journalism, at least online, like through most of these publications. They don't have real reporters who go in there and start at the base and they build up their own story. They just kind of crib off of each other at a certain level. Like that.
Yeah, and then when you have real reporters that actually do ask questions and start reporting the facts that weren't presented before, these other journalists, like with Christy Blatchford when she was reporting the Rehtaeh Parsons case, they all threw her under the bus saying she was victim blaming. It was like, no, she was reporting the facts. She was reporting something that wasn't made public before. She got statements from the police and other people instead of other than what was posted on Facebook. Like, journalism today is a fucking joke.
Well, they don't even have journalism degrees. I mean, look at the gaming press for a big example of that. They are just glorified fucking bloggers.
Oh yeah,
I could do the same fucking job.
but that's because that's the gaming press. Like you would expect more to be done for actual journals of record that are printed on paper.
Journalism is
for instance.
journalism. It doesn't matter what fucking journalism it is. It doesn't matter if it's a gaming
Again, you're
site.
describing the ideal versus the real world that we live in.
Yeah,
Well, I actually got a
what?
anecdote.
What the fuck are you talking about? Journalism is journalism.
Journalism is done by publications that have budgets. Right there, your argument just goes right out the window.
Would you like me
How?
to tell you what a real journalist would have done? Here's what a real
It
journalist would have
depends
done.
on whether or not that paper actually has a real journalist that they can afford to put on that beat.
Here's what you do, and any of you that want to get into this business, okay, here's what you would have done had you been a real journalist. You would have written that article.
But I have a real job.
Listen to me. I'm trying to explain something. How to make money in this business. Craig. Here's what you would have done. You would have written that article. In the very first sentence, you would have said, "This is satire." Then you would have went to your mom's house because you knew that people are going to be coming for you, and you would have had a predated article that you would have had archived somewhere and then released it afterwards, showing it was all a goof. I was expecting them to come and find me in my mom's basement. That's true.
Should I feed some of them tapioca so they can add more to their brain pan?
Yeah, none of this would have happened, man. If he would have done what a real that's how real journalists creates outrage, because you have an exit strategy. You started the whole thing.
Yeah, because stage left.
Journalists don't actually manufacture outrage.
Really?
That's not a thing. That's not what journalists are actually supposed to do. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's why there's people on the plane right now to Syria with a press vest running around on the front lines. Mm-hmm.
I actually got a personal anecdote that's relevant to this.
Like if you're trying to describe Roosh as like a journalist, and what you're saying is that he's not.
I'm not. That's how you know he's not a professional, because he didn't do any of these things.
Okay.
He didn't put himself in any real danger. He didn't manufacture.
I
he
think
didn't have
August.
any backup.
I think August really means PR flack, and who's echoing?
Yeah.
Not me.
Like there is a difference between the skills.
Macintosh is a PR flack.
There's overlap in the skill sets, but there's a difference between like the role that a journalist fills and the role that a PR guy fills. Like a PR guy doesn't really try to shape a certain type of narrative, generally, and a journalist will a journalist will not try to shape a type of narrative. PR guy will.
Yeah. And they're selling a
Okay,
product.
can I get in this one anecdote and then I'll shut up?
Sure.
Okay, I had this back in 1999. This was 2 weeks after Columbine. The police came to our school because there was a 19-year-old man in the area with a gun, and he was looking for a couple of boys from my school. And then BCTV came, and they had all their cameras there, and they started interviewing the kids. What happened was this 19-year-old man was assaulted, and he was there looking for retribution. But all these gossipy, excited kids were locked up and were spreading rumors around. They started telling stories about a crack cocaine conspiracy, and just started all these substantiated rumors. Well, BCTV didn't do any fact checking and just ran with these and just started and put out this propaganda piece or sensationalized
The
story.
BBC caught out numerous times with trolls that have put reports into the BBC, and the BBC's gone with it.
Yeah. Yeah, like they don't care about the facts. They got the right real story from the police, and then they took these unsubstantiated claims from these students that were just making up shit. Like, you know, one boy that I knew said, "Oh, apparently a girl had a gun pointed at her head." None of that shit happened. Nobody had a fucking gun pointed at them.
Did anybody did they miss the opportunity to say there was some kind of like limb trade that was going on? Like you can sell kidneys at that school.
No,
really sell it.
But they made it seem like there was like some real Tony Montana shit going on at Terry Fox Senior Secondary.
Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah, like that there were like actual like hitmen were as part of this crack cocaine ring going to shoot students over drug debts, and like the fact that BCTV ran with this and aired this just shows the fucking stupidity of the mainstream media. It's just forget what the facts are. Let's just run with what sounds good.
We're joined by Johnny Fox of the Johnny Fox Show.
Hey. Hey.
Gay.
Oh, God, he's in here. I didn't even realize that.
Gay. Good gay, Fox.
You're the only faggot here, sir. Just saying.
Shut the fuck up,
guy.
No, that just changed. We've just been joined by another faggot, my friend Evogen.
What's up, whores?
Oh man.
The sadness ever show up?
He was here.
He's drunk and talking about Muslims too much, and I decided that
he was here at like 100 proof too high. It was pretty awesome, actually. Like, I learned so much about biology tonight.
I know.
I can't even put it into words right now. How much?
Yeah, but he gave up before he got to the moon juice.
I was wondering what kind of word soup I was listening to earlier. And I was just like, oh shit, never mind.
I think
go back and listen to that at some point.
He was having a great night.
Listen to you 10% monkey.
He might have gotten to the moon juice eventually, but he was definitely dipping
the
moon juice ahead of time.
It was so heavily salted with fail that it was just delicious. Just
That would be a good highlight for your
Oh,
show.
we would have
promo
fucking
the hell
loved
out
it.
of it.
Magnifique.
Like he was talking about exactly how much of our DNA is garbage DNA.
Yeah,
And I was just like, wow. I hear shit like that, and it's the same stuff that like people will quote you from, like in shitty science fiction. Like I was, like, my brother-in-law
10%
had
of your
watched,
brain,
like,
that kind of thing.
That's exactly the one I'm thinking of. Where it's my brother-in-law made me watch Lucy over the Christmas break. And it was all right, but like they kept on talking to that bullshit point. It's just like, well, we only use 10% of our brains. It's just like nonsense. Go take a pencil and like stab it through someone's brain, and
and then run. But before you do,
separate away like the 90% of their brain they don't use, and then just what is left? How exactly does that work?
well, I mean that's why lobotomies go so well.
The views of the Johnny Fox cast to go on other shows do not represent the actual show. I'm sorry that I employed two dumbass people to be my co-hosts.
I just got to say one thing.
Whatever. Yeah, we're
I'm sure
bagging on
you've
them too
said
hard.
something
No,
stupid on here too, sir.
I say stupid shit all the time. Believe me. But
I
appreciate
it.
What if Leo said that was really stupid tonight? Anything?
Leo's been good.
Really? He's behaved himself?
Oh,
and
yeah,
hasn't
he's been
cussed
speaking
somebody out or
nonstop,
went
but that
actual
is
rose
normal.
on somebody?
I do think there will be a couple stern letters to the Times coming out of this, though.
You'll have to ask the chat what exactly they hated, though. I'm sure they hate like 90% of everything. Yeah,
If you average it, it's everything.
Yes.
I'll tell you one thing.
I don't know. I'm just trying to.
100% of my DNA is top shelf. So don't even talk to me about junk, nothing, when it comes to my genetics for
I mean, I'm sure I got a
want
couple
backup.
Snickers in there somewhere.
It's all alpha genes.
Understand what has happened. As you can see, I've been under a lot of stress to all these
Aww.
this mob. That's the things that you wrote that don't conform to the real world, and I don't get it. And it's clear to me that you guys haven't done your research. You're ready to write this guy is pro-rape without knowing where that false idea comes from.
What has happened?
I know she has known about me.
People reading that would certainly come away with the impression that you raped those women, and thus are.
I don't know anyone except for maybe you that thinks that, and people who have lost their minds when it comes to consensual sex. People who don't have any idea what girls are doing outside right now and what they will do in an hour or two once
Maybe
they get
someday
drunk
you'll
and pick
find
the guy
out,
that's their
Roosh.
life and let him
Someday.
do whatever he wants with her. So
Yeah, I wanna
macho
cover this
sex
one. I wanna cover
writing,
this
to
one.
convert
So
that
pause
to
it
rape,
second.
takes such a leap of faith that you have to be a liar to think that's true.
The media is obsessed with fucking rape. Pick up a fucking newspaper. And it bothers me that we have feminists and SJWs and all of these groups of people that have fucking watered down the definition of consensual sex and what is goddamn acceptable.
Well, yeah. We'll compare it with,
Stop
like,
definition
say,
raping me. God damn.
a definite definition, right? Well, look at terrorism. Look at what the
Well,
fuck
it's a
happened in
deliberate
that,
agenda.
too.
It's basically a deliberate agenda. It's basically a way of saying, women are always victims, men are always the perpetrators.
This is why you shouldn't mock people with communications degrees, because and I'll just give you a little. You still should. Let me qualify that. But once they get loose out in the wild, they rule the roost.
No. They only rule the roost
Shotgun
until you
would
ask
help.
them if they have a communications degree. And once they say yes, you can just discount everything they ever said.
No. I
That's
got a better
true.
one to
But
that.
I'm saying they know how to. Well, first of all, there's networking with other people in the media.
There are also
That-
manipulative people learning about Marcuse and a bunch of other people from the Frankfurt School.
Don't mess with them. I mean,
Basically
are you aware?
political science.
Yeah. That's why
You gotta take responsibility for yourself now too, pal.
See,
It's
time to
simple.
take
All
some
you have to do is not provide them with the technology to talk to each other, and then when they can't do shit, you just